Welcome back. Welcome. It's a beautiful day, and today I thought, why not do some transplanting or repotting? I am going to take some broccoli seedlings. They don't look quite like seedlings anymore, that I planted on February the 14th, and today I think is the 10th or the 11th, so not quite a month. And you can see the growth where actually it's time to separate these and put them in their own little home. And so I thought, why not go ahead and put that on a video today? So what I'm going to do, I have everything set up. I'm going to move the camera down to the table so you can get a better shot of what I'm going to do. I'm going to take two of them, separate them, and put them in their own home. So wait, let me bring the camera down, because you don't have to see me. Okay, so what I have basically is a baking tray cookie sheet, because it just helps me keep things a little neater. So I'm going to pick this one. So as you can see, these are two plants. I usually put two when it's a nice sized pot like this, but I always know that I'll have to separate them once they get this big. So I'm going to put this here. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pre-moisten my soil. And all this is a recycled water bottle with holes in it. So I'm just going to wet it a little bit. I'm not going to saturate it, but it makes it easier to transplant. Also, I've already wet this, and I let that sit there because that also makes it a little easier to transplant. I forgot my spoon. Hold on. Okay, so now I'm going to give this soil a little mix just to get the water in there so it'll be a little easier. As I said in my previous video, I always use either indoor potting soil or seed starting soil inside, and that's so important because beside this water, it's really light and fluffy in terms of starting your seedlings, but also it doesn't have the bugs in it. When you get the dirt from outside, you're probably going to bring all kind of bugs and flying insects and gnats, and that's not a good thing. That can, be very, very annoying. And so if you get this pre-mixed potting soil, that cuts that out. Well, I won't say 100%, but it cuts down on that a lot. And you'll hear me say this probably in every video, and that's because it's really important. If you see any sticks like this, just take them out and put them on the side. So we moisten this a little bit. I think I need a little more water. Again, we're not making mud, but we do want to moisten it. It just makes it easier to put the seedling in. And you can also pick out any sticks. Now these are just small sticks. If you get them out of your soil, you'll have rocks and sticks and spiders and gnats and bugs and insects and oh my. So we don't want to do that. All right. So what I have here, these are broccoli plants in case I didn't say it. And they are almost a month old, a few days shy of a month. These are recycled. Every year if we buy things, we always save these. So if you purchase seedlings already, save these. And you see what these are. These are cups we used, and instead of throwing them away, I washed them out. I put little slits in there. See that? Let's see if I can find one. See where my fingernail's sticking out? I cut these because you always need, number one, you don't want any extra water to cause root rot. Number two, when you transplant or seedlings, either way, you want to create a system so the water will suck up from the bottom and cause your roots to be very strong. So you can use these cups, you can use styrofoam, but you have to use the larger ones. Right now, because I'm transplanting, I wouldn't use the little teeny one. So we're going to go ahead. Usually this goes off without a hitch, but when you separate them, it's going to seem a little painful because the roots are all intertwined, but it's okay. You still have to separate them and put them in their own home. And I'm going to get two of these. All right, so you're going to have to separate them. Now, usually when I pre-moisten it, it does a good job. It doesn't fall all apart, right? And I'm hoping it'll do the same for the video. But, it's kind of like, You have to take a chance. When you have children and you know when they learn the ABCs and you're all excited and you're telling grandma and your best friend, guess what? She can say her ABCs. Oh, he can say them backwards, right? And then you say, go ahead, say them. And they just give you that look like, what? What's that? What? And they don't do it. So I want to see if this broccoli is going to cooperate and if it's going to break up nicely like it usually does when nobody's looking. All right. Oh, let's not do that. This is the first thing you're going to do. I'm going ahead of myself. You're going to put soil in here and you just kind of have to eyeball it. The thing that you want to do is you want to have enough so you can sit it in there and you can get it and have it so that at least to the first leaf is buried deep in there, because you want to create a very strong root system. And so you don't want to just stick it on top. But the reason why I'm doing this is so you can see how to do it. You want it down in there really good, because at this point, if you can see, this is a pretty strong looking, it doesn't even seem like seedling is the word, but plant, all right, for a month old. And so you just eyeball it. Usually what I do, I take whatever level of this and I put it up against here to see about how much soil I'll need to set it on top and then put the soil all around it. So that looks like that's good. All right. I'm going to do my second one. I'm putting about the same amount in. And you can see that the hose work really well because you can see the dirt coming out the bottom, and that's okay. I'm just going to scoop that dirt up and put it right back in there. But what we want are definitely the drainage holes. Another thing, you want to kind of pack it. You want to press it. You don't want to mash it. You don't want air pockets, because that causes all kind of problems with roots and mildew and things like that. So you want to give it a light press. All right, here's a moment of truth. Are you going to say your ABCs? So what I'll do, again, this is pre-moistened. I'm going to just go around in the little cup. What you want to do is loosen it up a little bit, right? And believe me, it looks fragile, but these are pretty tough. This is broccoli. So I'm going to kind of take 3 fingers and put it right between here. On the outside and the middle, just to kind of brace it. And I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to turn it upside down and hope for the best. Not bad, not bad. Can you see that root system? See the roots all over there at the bottom? And that definitely lets you know that it's time to separate them and put them in their own home. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right down the middle. And it's going to seem like, oh no. But you have to do it. And they'll survive. They always do. So I'm going to separate. I'm going to put this one here in its new home. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of that dirt out. What you want to do is put it in there deep enough to get it in there really, really firm, because these are going to grow tall. So I'm going to give it a light press. All right. So I have it down in there. You see that? Woohoo! Looking good, looking good. All right. So it's in there really well. Pressed it because you keep it in its same little compact home where it's getting all of its nourishment. And then I'm going to take more soil and I'm going to build up around it. This is so much fun. Like, why not grow your own food? You're home anyway. Like, you can't go anywhere. Well, I guess you can. Lots of people are working from home, and this is like a great and a perfect time to start growing your own food, because you're home anyway. You're home. Most people are home more than ever, whether you're working from home or whatever. And so why not grow some food while you're at it? You know, make the best of this time and make it an investment in yourself and an investment in your family, and practice some food sovereignty. You know, if things were to shut down again, would you have food stored away? Do you have food somewhere where you can go out and pick some lettuce, tomatoes, and at least make a salad, or go out and have some green peppers and onions and cook that up and make yourself a vegan meal? I don't know, but I just see it as an opportunity. See, I'm giving it a light press. I'm not mashing hard. As an opportunity to pick up a new skill of growing food. And when you think about it, it's more of a survival skill at this point in time. So I'm really building it up around here. You don't want to disturb the leaf a lot, but you want to give it that press, because after this, it's going to really take off. And then the next time, the root system will be wound around in this cup, and then this baby is going right into the ground. So this is the last indoor transplant that I'll be doing with this broccoli. All right. So there we have it. It's still standing up pretty strong, which is a good thing. Now what we're going to do is, this time only, and I'm going to stick my little stick in here because it lets me know that it's broccoli and the date. And I'm going to give it a little water. And this also helps too when it's pre-moistened, because the water doesn't just sit there, because it's really light and fluffy. And what I'm going to do is, this is going to go into a tray. I say this every time because the water is going to come from the bottom through the roots. The roots will grow down and become strong, looking for the water. And then the leaves of the plant upstairs will grow up tall because it's looking for the light. So I'm going to set this to the side because that one is done. And now we're looking at this one, and it's looking good. Again, we wet it, or I wet it because I wanted to keep that main home intact. I didn't want to just break it all up. Some people do. It depends on your experience. I can't do that right now. I like to keep it in its home. So I'm going to put that down in there really well, so it's in its original home. The same thing, I'm going to add the soil directly in there. And you want to try to keep the plant as much as possible in the center, so it can be surrounded by the dirt, and it looks prettier too. But anyway, yes, this is a perfect time while you're home a little more than usual to invest in learning how to grow your own food. Not that it's that hard. You just take some dirt, take a seed, stick the seed in the dirt. And I know you say, oh, I tried before. But sometimes there are little things we miss, like how to water it. And plants need lots of light during the day. Well, maybe not particularly during the day. They need a certain amount of hours of light, maybe 8 to 10 hours. I guess it's been a while since I've read up on that. And you know, these days, beside Google, you also have books. So go to the library. You know, you have videos, books, you name it. All the resources are there to help you very easily grow your own food indoors until you can get outdoors. So again, you see I'm giving it a light press. But I'm putting soil in here to hold these babies up. Taking out the sticks because you want them to be strong. You want them to grow strong. Broccoli is amazing. We eat the broccoli leaves, and I'll talk about that later when we start harvesting. Nothing is wasted with broccoli. So you eat the florets and the thick part and all of that stuff. But the leaves, you cook them the same way. Well, I don't know. Everybody does things differently. But I cook them the same way I do my greens, collard, kale, which is I saute mine and add onions and peppers. And these broccoli greens are amazing. So I've done two just to show you how it can be done. And this is how it looks. See that big cone? So these went from being planted in here together, and now a little less than a month later, they have their own home. Isn't that what it's about? It's about that real estate, right? And so these plants have their own home. And I will check back and let you know how the transplant went. Today is March the 11th. And I might stick a stick in here and mark that the day that I transplanted it was March 11th. And then we're going to see what it looks like maybe in a month from now. Okay? So I want to say thank you for joining me And I hope you like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And I will see you on the next video. Again, remember, if you get an opportunity to get broccoli, you can eat the leaves. They are delicious. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.